Hi everybody, and welcome back to our Google Classroom course. This lesson is going to focus on personalized learning. Now, in one of our previous lessons, we learned how to create an assignment. But what I want to show you is how we can leverage the power of Google Classroom to be able to create assignments that are personalized for the individual student. Now, we know that this is complicated in our classrooms. We have students of varying abilities across all different grade levels each and every day. And so how do we help save teachers' times so that they don't have to run around like crazy? Part of that is we can use the Google tools to create what I like to call playlists of learning. And the power of Google Classroom allows us to assign it to either individual students or to create an assignment that has multiple links for multiple abilities. So I'm going to show you both scenarios. So we're going to start by going to classroom.google.com. So now that you're here, I want you to imagine the scenario where we're working on some math place value. I have some students that are working at an emergent level, and I have some students that are working at quite a high level. One of the things that I've done is using the amazing, super awesome tolearn.ca. We know that there's awesome educational resources for teachers. And the particular sites break it down over the Alberta Program of Studies across the grade levels. So I got a lot of ideas for some interactives here. So for example, if I go to the grades 3 to 6, I can look under math and number concepts, and I'm going to be able to look at what it is that I need students to be able to do that's going to support their understanding of perhaps whole numbers. I can also go back and I can look at a different set of grade levels. Either I need to go lower, perhaps I need to go higher. What's great about our spiraling curriculum is we know that now we can have a different level of learning for different levels of students, even if they're in the same classroom. What I did with some of those ideas is I created a hyperdoc. Now, don't panic. You're like, hyperdoc, what is she talking about? I thought we were using Google Classroom. A hyperdoc is where we make a self-paced learning activity for students using a Google Doc. Now, if you're really interested in how to make these, just so you know, we do have upcoming courses in teaching you how to make a hyperdoc. Our amazing MTech consultant, Dane Sidonic, and our math consultant, Tammy Leslie, have created some hyperdocs and do some sessions. And I will, of course, have an online course for how to do this. But what we did is we created, imagine one of those tic-tac-toe boards. So in this particular one, you can see that we've created a learning mat for place value. And what the students do is they're able to self-pace and go through practice games, books, videos, demonstration, and each one of these different squares. And as the student completes it, what we encourage them to do is to fill that box, yellow or any color of their choice, to show that they've completed it. Now, what we did is we made one for an emergent level, grade level, and above level, all focused on place value. Now, we can distribute these individual placemats to individual students, along with any other supporting materials. So how I do that is inside my Google Classroom, I can select which students get which assignment. What's really great is they don't notice that their stream is different. I can assign it to those different students, but they won't see the assignment that was given to other students as being in their stream. There's no confusion. So let's give this a try. I'm going to say create assignment, and I'm going to create my place value assignment for my particular student. So I've put our place value exploration here. I have asked students to take some time to explore the game board. I've given it a due date, and I've given it a topic. Now what I want to do is attach my game board or whatever materials I'm looking to attach to support that student. So I'm just going to go into my recent file here and choose my emergent game board. I'm going to select it and add it. Instead of students can view file, I want to make a copy for each student so that they can fill in the color and paste their way. Now I'm ready to go ahead and assign. Don't forget, what I could have done is also visited tolearn and gone to the emergent levels of the mathematics and found some number concepts that I want to be able to attach and add for my students as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to add it to my classroom. So lots of ways to give materials to support that learning. Now here's what's really important for the personalization. Instead of all students, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check which student or students needs this particular activity. Now what's going to happen after it's assigned, I'm going to note that I've only assigned it to that one student. So when I go and I look at it, here's our place value exploration. I can see that it's only been assigned to one student, and that's just Dane. Now, what if I wanted to do this again and I wanted to save a little bit of time because I have the red or the blue placemat? Well, in our previous activity, we learned how to reuse posts. This is what really saves. I don't want to have to recreate this assignment. I'm going to reuse the post and just replace that document, that green place value mat, with my next level. Here's what it would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say create. Instead of creating assignment, I'm going to reuse post. What's exciting is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose this class that I'm currently in. There's the place value exploration, and I'm going to say reuse. As we know with reusing posts, I have the opportunity to tweak the details, including the attachments as well as who this goes to. So right now, I'm going to take out this green mat. I'm going to go to my drive and my recent, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my blue place value mat. I can also change out the link. And now, instead of all students, I'm going to take this mat, and this one is going to be assigned to John. Now note, in the teacher view, I see two separate place value exploration assignments. The students will not see that. They will not see the posts that were not given to them. So it's a really great way to support the individual learning. Now, another way to do this, just because sometimes we don't only want to give leveled materials to our students, we want them to be able to perhaps challenge themselves. What I'd like to do is I like the color-coded mats, and I have a little bit of a secret sign with those students. You know what? Green is go, green is yours, you always do that. And if you'd like to work ahead, if you'd like to choose one thing off the next level, you know, we can offer those things. If we only ever assign students something that we think is at their ability, sometimes we miss the opportunity to see something that we didn't realize they could do. And so I would make that assignment again, and maybe this time I'm going to attach all three. So if I attach all three, I'm going to leave it for all students, and I can have that conversation for the students to be able to choose which one they want to go through. Don't forget, you want to be able to make a copy for your students so that their name is on it and you can track their progress as they go. So that's it. That's our pro tip for creating personalized learning. Now, underneath this activity, we do have some geeky extras for you. I have some links to some of our HyperDoc templates, so if you want to be able to take them and change out some of the activities or use them as is. I also have some resources for you to get started with HyperDocs of your own so that you can support you in making these learning playlists. Now, note, you don't have to use a HyperDoc. Your learning playlist could also simply be the appropriate doc and a video and a link. It doesn't all have to be contained in that Google Doc. It's completely up to you and what your students need. If you have any questions about this lesson, please just let me know. Our next lesson is collaborative learning.